Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today I'm really excited. I got a collab that I'm doing with a bunch of friends, and this is 7 of us kicking off this fun collaboration called #SpringtimeProtection. So taking the words springtime protection, each practitioner can interpret it however they see fit in their own practice, their own uniqueness, their way of culture, or representing their region, however they'd like, however, without to do, what does springtime mean to them? What does springtime mean to you? Throw me down in the comments below, because you're going to be surprised in what's going to come up in the other videos and all the different things that you could use for a springtime protection spell. Now, to kick off this collaboration, there's going to be 7 of us, and then I invite and welcome other viewers at home as well as other content creators to also join in this collaboration. You can just hashtag it and we'll be able to see your ad to the video. So I would like to introduce you to the 7 practitioners that are taking part in the kickoff of this collaboration. And let's hear where they're from and where their channel is. And also in the description down below and in my comments, I'm going to have a link to their channel, so you're going to be able to find everyone and find everyone's spells.
Hi, my name is Aurora, and my channel is Lavender Hazelwood Witches, and I'm from the USA.
Hi there, I'm Kara from Pagan Crafting, and I'm from Canada.
Hi, I'm Peck from Peckish Pagan from the shores of the Great Lakes.
Hi, my name is Shadow from Shadow Sun, and I am from the USA.
Hi, I'm Star from Starlight the Wild Witch, and I'm from the USA.
Hi, I'm Tuva from Tuva the Norse Witch, and I come from England.
Hi, I'm Colette from Witchways on YouTube, and I live in the United States.
Well, now that you've met everyone, I'm sure you recognize some faces, maybe see some new faces. Enjoy them, check them out, subscribe to them, check out their spells. And what we're going to do here today, we're going to start off with spell cards. I have gotten just an old deck. I got a cheap $3-4 it cost me off of Temu of a tarot deck, just a super inexpensive one, and I'm using that for my spell cards. So what we're going to do today, we're going to make some spell cards, but we're going to tell a story. So when you place tarot cards side by side, if you look at it like a movie strip, even if you don't know anything about tarot, you don't have to memorize, you don't have to even look up their meanings if you don't want to for this spell. Taking the tarot cards and interpreting the images and the pictures and the symbolism on there, however you see fit, is going to resonate more when you interpret it, any tarot cards for that matter, let alone for this spell. We're going to use paper correspondences. Everything I'll be using in here will have a color correspondence and a meaning. I'm going to be adding seeds to it, so poppy seeds will have a meaning. Even the color of sparkles. I'm going sparkles, my friend. We're having sparkles today. It's happening. It's happening. We're getting sparkles on this channel. Anyway, let's get to our craft and let's have some fun. I'm going to bring you over to my crafting table and let's go through some... Let's find some seeds, see what we could use. Let's find some paper to use. I have some scrap paper, and let's design this very unique mobile spell. And this little mobile spell is gonna be in a little booklet form, with little embellishments and little beads and little charms and all kinds of fun little stuff. Anyway, let's have some fun. Let's get to our spell and let's make a very unique booklet tarot card mobile spell springtime protection stuff. Okay. like to do as I first start off, which I don't normally show, and I don't know why, so we're going to change that. I like to begin off by smudging anything that I'm using. I did smudge the cards off camera that I'm going to be using with this spell work. The pages, this paper has never been smudged, and the seeds I have smudged a few times, but you know what? Let's do it again. So we're going to give everything a little cleanse. I don't know which seeds yet I'm going to use, so I thought we would just hit them all. A little extra love goes a long way, and something for myself. Now I'm just doing a light cleanse. I'm not doing a full from head, crown, all the way down to my feet smudge. I'm just doing my head, my thinking, my creativity, and my hands. Now these are some of my seeds that I've collected over the years. These are poppy seeds. Ooh, these poppy seeds I collected the year 2020, the red and purple. They are the most glorious red with this little bit of purple bits coming from underneath. I don't know what else. I'm just gonna pull. What I'm really looking for right now is springtime, summer seeds. Now these poppy seeds it's unique. I don't know why. But oh, I remember why they have an envelope with it. They're actually Himalayan opium poppy seeds, some mammoth sunflower seeds, and then this blue, yes, pooper scooper bag. Because when I'm out walking, sometimes you find seeds in parks. So that's some roses, some purple tortoise, food, some more poppies, and some seed packages. And even some hemp seeds. And look at this giant bag of poppy seeds I collected at my friend's property. There was wild poppies growing everywhere, so from her garden. So I'm gonna go for greens, maybe some cream, and some stunning black. So I'm just gonna pull out some corresponding colors that I like. From my little envelope too, I have little extra bits that I could reuse. Now I have this cute little jar here. Now in the top of the cork cap, it has a little wire loop that you can hang on a chain. So we're gonna hang that off our spell cards. Now I didn't have a lot of springtime seeds. I see some snapdragons here. Poppy seeds are more kind of a late spring, early summer. So, but I didn't want to buy any seeds for this project. I just want to use what I have. So poppy seeds are the best I could find. And it also works out for luck, fertility, money. Also works for invincibility. But I wish it would. That'd be cool. But that's just one of the things it says that it goes with. Some charms here, a little pentacle and a lotus flower. And I have some scrolls that I wound up and put a little ring around them. And we're going to write some messages on there. You could also write some sigils on there too, which would be really cool. And we have the flowers, and we have the paper and the sparkles, and we're going to start off with our cards. So I just used an old tarot deck. I got a couple knockoff decks from Temu. And you could use whatever decks you have lying around the house that either you want to sell, give away, you're no longer using, or maybe you like the art but you didn't like the messages. So if that's the case, if you didn't like the messages that are in the cards, it's going to work out great for you because I cover up all the words on my tarot cards. I do read tarot cards professionally, so I do know what they mean, but those of you that don't know what they mean, it does not matter for this spell because we're telling a story. So when you have your cards all set up in a row here, we want to flip them backwards. So that way we are going to tape them together. And I'm just going to use some Scotch tape. Now, I was thinking about using washi tape, but that stuff doesn't really want to stay on that well. So I just use some clear tape and give about a millimeter between the spacing, as you can see that I'm doing here, because if you don't, when you go to fold the cards in on each other, that it'll all buckle and bend. By giving it a millimeter or so space in between, they're going to fold up really nicely together. And also gives a little extra seamless look. Now they can see that I've done them all backwards. They fold up great together. Just trimming off some excess tape there. And we have our storyline. So I'm going to decorate the front and back cover only. We don't need to decorate all the cards that are folded on the inside. And I'm using green because green is for fertility. It is for luck. It is for finances. It is for abundance. It is for health. It is for healing, growth, all the wonderful things that can represent in springtime, new beginnings, rebirth. And I like to, for the edges that is showing on the sides, I like to trim it straight with a cut and then give it just a tear by hand. This black paper is so gorgeous. It's got kind of like a velvet feel on top of the paper. Would you believe I got all that paper from the dollar store? Because I don't have any scrap paper. I don't do scrapbooking anymore, and I wish I had all my scrapbooking stuff now, but I gave it all away. But I wish I never did now, because now I'm getting into the grimoiring and paperworking and journaling, and it would be really cool to have a lot of that stuff. But starting over again, I'm keeping all my paper scraps. Anything I cut off, just play with it. There's no right or wrong. Just play with some designs. It was curling up a little bit. I had to give it some little extra push there. Not quite sitting down there. There we go. Okay. Let's have some fun now for the inside. So it's all about building up the layers, and I like to pick 2 or 3 different colors, no more, because it also gets too busy with all the stuff. Pick 2 or 3 colors that represent different feelings you want to portray in your art magic. What do you want to express? How does the color green feel to you? Black for me is protective. It's absorbing of negative energy. It is also gorgeous. It is a silent. It is a shadow. In this springtime protection spell, I'm using the black paper for protection and green to represent the growth of springtime. Now, as you can see, first I covered up all the words. I don't want any of the words showing in the major arcana, because I'm going to be using possibly a word that I'm going to pull as a keyword from the meanings of the cards, or what I think the card looks like in my storyline, what it represents. Little green star there. So with the Rider-Waite deck, I find the Rider-Waite deck is one of the greatest ones to use for beginners. It's the symbolism and the stories that each card tell. If you just take the time to look at the card, you're going to pull out so many little different details. You want to pull out these details to create a story when you're reading tarot and when you're doing this spellcraft.
Laying down some washi tape and also cutting off a bit. I'm just covering up the symbol for Venus. I would like to be fertility for the masculine and the feminine. And just ripping off some nice cream paper that I'm going to write my new power words, my new keywords of inspiration for this spell. Layers, layers, layers. Have fun. Bringing in some black protection on top of the green of growth. And I don't want to cover up the sword when I do a dark sky with the black, so I have that cut open. It is so fun to tell a story with tarot cards. If, like I keep saying, if you think of it like a movie strip, what direction they're facing. So you can see for example, the knight on the farthest left-hand side that I'm working on right now, he's facing to the left, but he's got his back to the Empress, which is to his right. He's protecting her. He's looking after the fertility and growth of springtime protection. So it depends on different ways that your characters or the object's face can also tell a bit of a storyline throughout it too. The colors mean different things, and each color has a representation of something different. Now when reading tarot, you want to represent that, what it means to you, and you don't always have to go by the book. And the same thing will apply to this type of spell crafting. Laying down some pillars on the Chariot card. I just want to make it more predominant. I think it looks cool. Again, just playing around with what scraps you have. I can't really plan this out, and I try not to think about it. The only thing I think about is the intention that goes in with the spell in mind. Other than that, turn your brain off. All right, let's look at our paper clip here now. We're going to bring in some ribbon with this. I didn't have any green ribbon, but I thought this black would look just beautiful. It's a nice accent to it. The paper clip is going to act as a holder to hold your booklet together. Now make sure on the paper clip it has one curl at the top, one curve, and has two curve points at the bottom. You want to attach the ribbon to the one curve. Now I put some crazy glue in there, some Gorilla Glue, and I'm just moving the ribbon around to work it into the material so I can hold that in place. Adding a blob of glue on top of that, and I'm going to be adding the lotus flower. Now you want to let that sit, even though the crazy glue does dry pretty quick. Just leave it to the side for about 20 minutes. All right, now I got my little brad stamper. We're going to punch some holes into the card. You could also use a hole puncher if you'd like, and put in some ribbon or some little charms you can add. One brad nail punches the hole and the other one's going to help me close it up. So adding the green butterfly first. Butterflies for transformation and rebirth. That turned out nice. And then I have a couple more here. I have a black and also a green. Not sure which one to use yet. Let me change my brads. I'll figure it out. Punching in a couple more holes. Thanks to my mom for getting me this brad nailer. I had all these brads and I had nothing to put them in. So it's really cool to finally be able to use these all the time now. I'm so excited. I found a box of brads at a thrift store. That's the one that was all mixed up that you saw. I have to go and organize them one day through color correspondences. I love everything color coordinated. My pencil crayons, my paints, lightest to darkest. When I used to tattoo, all my inks were like lightest to darkest, color coordinated too. I am all about color. I am all about color in everyday life, from where a shirt that I wear, from the shoes that I wear, to even to the elastic that I have in my hair. I pick colors. Everything has a meaning as I'm rocking through my day. So I wound up changing the springtime protection tag that I put on the front. It was just too square to cut. And I wound up making another one with a different pen that was a little bit more legible. I'm attaching some larger rings now. These a little bit larger, a little bit thicker to be able to go through the brad holes. And you can even leave them just like this too, and it would look cool. So these larger brads, these holes, are going to help me attach some beads to it too. So I'm going to bring out some green beads. Now all these beads are glass. They're all little blown glass, little fun bits and bobs of all kinds of mixtures. Not one of them are alike, and that's okay. It works for my crafts. So just going through and picking out some black and some green. Now I have a wire that I'm using to feed the beads on. Now I didn't show you that part of the wire at the bottom has a little silver bead stopper. So that way you can feed in your beads and they won't fall off. Using my circle maker, there we go, done deal. Added a little loop onto the top with that. And I'm gonna close off, I'm gonna put some glue on the opening of my bottle of seeds, because I'm taking it on a road trip with me, so I don't want it to come out. So I'll open it when I'm ready. So let's add a ring to that. And a ring to our charm. Now we have pentacles inside the tarot card. So I chose a pentacle as well, because in tarot cards, the pentacle represents abundance, finance. It represents fertility. And I feel like some more green and black beads. So let's do that. Adding another little loop again with my loop maker with the wire. And we're going to attach that on to the larger hoops. So I'm going to grab some smaller hoops now. Attach that on to the bead with our little loop. And then I'm going to chain a bunch of the loops together. And that'll create a little bit longer hangly dangly, a little action. That was a very technical term. So again, I'm just adding a little chain on, adding about 3 more loops to each of my beads. And then you can attach it to the larger ring that you fed through the brad ring on the card. There we go. I'm liking that. So you can see how I made the chain links with the loops to help them hang off the card. And this being a tarot card, it's not flimsy. Same as playing cards, it's going to take a beating. They're great. The artist trading cards are even used with playing cards as well, or cardboard or cardstock. Adding some clear glue here now, we're going to bring in some sparkles. So I'm just laying down everywhere. I want some pillar tops. Laying down everywhere. I'd like to see some of my black sparkles. Yes, I'm bringing in sparkles. It's happening. It's happening. A little bit for the star. A little bit for his hoe he's working on. I don't know why I decided to cover up some trees there, but I had a reason at the time. All right, now for some black sparkles. Yeah. So let this dry for about a half an hour, even an hour if you want, depending what type of glue that you have, and then knock off the excess sparkles. You'll actually be able, it'll adhere more. So now that that's dried off, I knocked off the sparkles, and that is what I have left. So our first card will say protect. And I struggled what to do for the Empress because she is fertility, but she also stands for growth. She also stands for changes. She also stands for watching your emotions not take the best of you. Now we have rebirth with the Death card because we are reborn into something new after a season of death. We have total love and support, because I want to see all my little seedlings get the love and nourishment and support that they need. Now we have our little scrolls here. This is going to be a great place to write yourself a little message. You could also write a sigil on here. It would be perfect. We are going to be gluing it down, so you won't be able to access it again unless you tear it off. In springtime, help my plants flourish. So you can write little messages for your little plant babies, or maybe you want fertility straight up. Maybe you want to have a baby. So maybe springtime protection could be about having a baby. Write that down. The Empress would work well for that too. Now I have a green and yellow to match my color scheme, just more like a beige, not really yellow. And that's going to permanently set it and forget it. I'm quite well chuffed on how these little beads turned out. Let's have a look here at our reveal. And as we went over with the poppies seed before, it's the gender feminine, planet moon, element water. Powers are fertility, love, sleep, money, luck, and instability. Now there are really different ways that you could use, many different ways you can use the poppy seed, but the one way I'm using it here is it can be carried. So I'm using it in a jar here, so it can be carried to attract luck, money, and fertility with my seeds. Again, the green for fertility for my little seedlings. I made a springtime protection for my garden and for the season to come. I would like a good season for the farmers and for people around me that is taking care and growing their own food. Okay, so what we have here is an air card. This is the Knight of Swords, so it's an air suit. Now he's coming in fast. He's got a sword. Even the clouds are jaggedy. He's coming in to protect. I even chose the black sparkles here representing protection, using a black rainbow here. Now what this one is, she represents fertility and growth. So I protect here, growth. Now this is about hard work and patience. So I'm representing these, again, here they are, the pentacles. And that represents my hard work, the patience, the growing of the seed. The seed comes into rebirth. This is the death card, but in death is rebirth. So I chose that card for new beginnings of the seedlings to come. So I like the protection. So we have a knight on the horse and the white horse protection. And now I have a green star here.
I like Star Wars, so I kind of thought, you know, death, star. Okay. So that's the only reason why that is there. And I thought it just would sound cool. Did some rebirth. The next one here is we have the Chariot card, travel experiences. So I have experience here. And the 10 of Cups is kind of a recognition of total love and total support. So we have to protect the growth of our new seeds through hard work and patience. You'll find rebirth. Through the experiences of your seed, you will experience total love and support. We have protection pillars. We have the Death Star. We have a pillar of that he's leaning on, maybe a little success, a little hope. Like when you pick your tarot cards, as I explained later on, earlier on in the video, when you pick your cards, tell a story. Even if you know nothing about tarot cards, think of this as a movie strip. He's protecting. He's coming in on a horse. She's got growth. I actually covered up. It was like not straw, wheat. There was wheat and growth, and there was also the symbol of fertility right here that I covered up. I wanted it kind of a gender neutral, so I didn't have the feminine Venus symbol on there. I just covered it up with this washi tape. So growth, patience, hard work, rebirth, even right down to my flower here of the lotus flower. It's spiritual in nature. We have the springtime protection. And that is my springtime protection spell cards, if you will. And if you want to make some of your own, I mean, a cheap deck, a knockoff deck, it's just a super cheap deck. You can even print some offline as well. I think that's it. You can print some offline. You can tell a story. Again, this could mean some different things to you. Each card could mean and represent something different to you. You're going to pick the cards that correspond in with what the story that you would like to tell. Well, thank you again for chilling out with me today, and always, it is a pleasure. Let me know if you make any spell cards, or if you're planning on making any tarot stories, movie strip stories yourself. Again, these are great for traveling, putting in your purse, your back pocket. You're good to go. A little spell card. You don't have to bring your whole spell book. You don't have to lay out a whole kit and caboodle on the table here. But it is nice to smudge, cleanse, start everything off with intention. Put that energy into any artwork. You can make artwork, anything. Now, this was just scrap paper, paper clips, an old deck, and some fun. Well, thanks for chilling out with me, and have yourself an absolutely magical day.